70 years after the end of World War II, Americans who served are returning these mementos of war.
They're giving them back to their Japanese owners, and Cor Harlan in Astoria tonight with this story.
These are the flags that young Japanese men took with them into combat during World War II. Something from home with encouraging messages and comforting words written on them. The Japanese soldiers would often carry these flags into the field of battle with them.
All the people who cared about that person, all of the people who thought about him, was going to war with him.
During the course of the war, the flags became popular souvenirs for Americans. They'd often be taken from belongings of Japanese as they lay dead on the battlefield. Now, all of these years later, the Americans who took the flags and their descendants are sending them home.
Great fighters that are giving those flags back to the people that took them from or acquired them from, and give them closure. 75 years, you can't hate people forever.
For great war survivors who are now in their 90s, men like Bud Lewis, it's a kind act for an old enemy and an emotional reminder of just how fast their time has gone by.
Something like 1.2 million Japanese never came back home and never had any effects returned.
Jerry Bassett's dad fought as part of the 112th Cavalry in the Philippines. Dale Bassett took possession of one of the Japanese flags. It belonged to an opponent he knew nothing about, and now all these years later, Dale's wife, Ursula Bassett, holds the box with the battle flag in her arms. They're now turning it over to a local organization in hopes it'll be returned to that deceased Japanese soldier's surviving family.
We decided that the best thing was to return it to its rightful owner, which is not us.
In Japan, the flags have given comfort to families who've gotten them. This is YouTube video of a loved one receiving the flag, and all these years later, that flag is often the only connection people had with their relatives killed in World War II, and it still evokes emotion. In Astoria, Cor Harlan, KOIN 6 News.